This is one of the most interesting tank destroyers ever made. Not because of its 105mm cannon or its open-top configuration, or even its chassis built off a Panzer IV. No. It's because only two were ever made, and it's called the Dicker Max. The role of the assault gun in the German army in World War II gave the infantry an upper hand in assaulting fortifications. However, heavy bunkers could withstand large punishments from artillery, and moving closer to these said fortifications posed a great risk. A weapon was needed to fight these fortifications at a safe range where returning fire was impossible. So the company Krupp began the initial development of a heavy assault gun in 1939. With the Stug assault tanks already on the ground, the project soon became unnecessary with the conclusion of the Battle of France. Thus, the project shifted from the heavy assault gun to a tank destroyer. The design took a Panzer IV Ausf E chassis and removed the turret to add an open-topped superstructure on top to hold the heavy 105mm gun. The design had armor around 50mm in the front, angled at 15 degrees. The vehicle design during its development was called the 10cm-K PZ SFL IVA. Another name it was called was the Dicker Max, which stood for Thick or Fat Max. The trials with the two prototypes Krupp produced were done by the Anti-Tank Battalion 521. The battalion took the vehicles with them during Operation Barbarossa. One was destroyed due to catching fire and the ammunition exploding, but the other was able to last until the end of 1941. The sole vehicle also saw use in the German offensive Case Blue in the summer of 1942. Right, now that we have looked at some of the historical facts around this interesting tank, let's get into some interesting details that some of you may or may not have noticed. Firstly, if you look at the tank directly from the front, you'll notice that it's not exactly symmetrical. Something I'm sure will trigger the OCD types out there, such as myself. But the reason for this is that there were only two prototypes. And while with prototypes you can safely assume that the build quality was not exactly German.
But don't let that fool you. Yes, it's like climbing into a metal box that has been tacked together with glue, but credit needs to be given to the game development team on paying attention to the small details.
The armored compartments were present in the vehicle rear to protect the loaders from overhead attacks. The front has a false driver port present on the right side of the vehicle, with the real one on the left. Whether it was to deceive the enemy fire or simply a design oversight is unknown. The commander, gunner and loaders all have their own sights available to them to observe the landscape for targets.
The engine is a 180 horsepower inline 6 Maybach HL66P. Though the prototype vehicles used the Panzer IV as the basis, it was predicted that in production the vehicle would have used the Panzer III instead due to the increased mobility in suspension and running gear. I mean, it's only producing 180 brake horsepower, fully upgraded, with the stock HP only being 159. Its top speeds are mediocre, 28 kilometers an hour. I mean, we're not the tortoise in the race, but more so a really overweight badger, I guess.
So where does this tank really fit in? I mean, it's slow, it's got an open top, it's got no machine gun. I mean, if you're getting into a close proximity fight with a tank, you're pretty much useless. And on top of that, the machine gun is really not there for any sort of guidance either. It really feels like it's got no purpose. Or does it? The historical opinion of the vehicle was that it was unsuitable for participation in a frontal assault due to its low armor and maneuverability. The gun was deemed effective in supporting an infantry assault and knocking out tanks, but the heavy muzzle blast caused large dust to obscure the gunner's view, requiring an observer to watch where the shots landed.
Now in the game that's not necessarily the case, but its ability assault or lack thereof still stands. Let's also discuss the ammo types. Whilst you do have the two filler types of ammo, the PZGR and PZGR rod, I think the latter would get you further as it's got a little bit more explosive TNT power. Though it's a little touch and go if you're going up against higher rated tanks than you. However, the 105mm does make up for it and should see you through.
This is exactly what it's been made to do. Sit back, drink a couple of beers, have some sauerkraut and bratwurst, and wait for your opponents to come into the view. It's pretty much built for sniping.
Now, fire! Oh, yes! Perfect. Great. A little bit of a revenge kill there, I guess. Oh, there we go. That's another one. Come. Line up. Ooh. Ooh, a hit. Oh, what? Oh, that's a terrible shot. Try again. Come on, reload. Quick. Come. Oh, yes. Got the shot. Nice. Ooh, there you are. Hello. Come on. Let's see if I hit this one. Boom! Nice. That's what I wanted. Perfect. What's over there? AA and SU. Okay. Take down the SU. Ooh. That's on his breach. What? Did it take it down? Yes, I think it did. Ooh, he's coming back? What? Okay, let me see if I can pop him through this. Come on, reload! Yes! There we go. Take it down. Where's that AA now? Okay, quickly, fire. Ooh, what did I hit there? I didn't destroy the gun. Why is he not shooting at me? Hello? Okay, whatever. I don't know. I'm just not really in the mood for this guy. Sorry. Have to take you down. Well, there we go. That is 2 down. And let's...
On general reliability, no reports were made on engine and transmission problems. But there were issues with the brake system and maneuverability.
Come on, you lump of steel. We got places to be. Gosh, I might as well climb out of this dumb box and just ride a bicycle with a bazooka strapped to my back.
Due to these issues, the Dicamax did not see mass production for widespread usage. Thus, only 2 prototypes were made before the interest in the project dropped. From what we know, the only Dicamax to have been tested in combat had 7 kills recorded, which is pretty decent on paper.
The 105mm artillery gun is not only more effective than the Stu 105mm howitzer, but it is very consistent in terms of the results. Hits that usually devastate the enemy. Its 14-second reload's not bad either for a gun of its size. 4 seconds faster than the Stu and over twice as fast as the KV-2s. The 105mm HE round can also be effective in many light armor vehicles like the M18 Hellcat.
Lastly, let's talk about the price. Before I do, I have to put a disclaimer down that the show was filmed during the economic uncertainty, so the prices might be a bit different. First, to get all the optional extras, it will set you back 33,500 Silver Lions and 14,060 research points. The vehicle comes in at a battle rating of 3.7, which puts it in a fairly competitive rating. It's tough, but not impossible. That 105mm cannon can get you out of the thick of things, but don't rely on its maneuverability. Lastly, the actual buying price is a reasonable 50,000 Silver Lions, and research points are only 14,000. So my final take on this tank is that it's a pros and cons type of decision. If you want to be an aggressive player and take the fight to the front, well, you're either a very good player and want to have some fun, or you have no clue whatsoever and should go do your homework that is outstanding for tomorrow. If you want to sit back and take pot shots from a long distance on the long distance maps, well then this is the tank for you. Like a cheap car salesman, I'll try and convince you to take this tank plus all the optional extras. It'll provide you the ride you have been dreaming of for such an affordable price. So, let's do a quick recap before we end off. Here are the pros and the cons, starting with the cons. It's a very slow tank as with any tank destroyer. It's an open top, so easy prey to air attacks. HE rounds can take you down pretty quick. Not a close-up assault tank, and it's got bad maneuverability. The pros are, it has a great gun with great penetrating power. It's a good long-range sniper, and its frontal armor is surprisingly strong as well. And on that bombshell, we will catch you in the next episode. Please don't forget to drop us a subscribe and a like, and give us a comment on any tank you would want to see in future episodes.